Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me this afternoon.
No problem. Putting my computer back a little. There we go.
So, I'm really interested to take this time to get to know more about you and how you got to where you are today. So, to get started, did you always know that you wanted to be an artist, or how did you start off, and did you have another career pathway in the beginning?
I started doing art when I was a child.
Okay,
Um, it was all around me all the time because my mother was an abstract painter and she worked with the decor of a museum sometimes. She was a weaver. She did like huge macrame things.
okay.
Um, my dad was a potter and we had a studio in the garage. He was
Wow.
also a plumber though.
Okay.
So I was always playing with cooking and making things,
Gotcha.
eating. Had an easy bake oven in fourth grade, and now I teach cooking classes.
Oh, nice. And you also have a jewelry business as well, correct?
I do, and that's where the career thing comes in. So for crazy reasons, I didn't end up at the college where I wanted to go. My
Gotcha.
family moved like 2 weeks before school.
Gotcha.
And I did get accepted to the Museum School of Fine Arts in Boston and Tufts
Wow.
for free.
Wow.
It was too late to get housing
Gotcha.
because I only had 2 weeks notice. So I ended up at the only college that would take me at short notice and that had a metal program. So it was mixed metals and jewelry. But I didn't like it. I changed majors and I just didn't like the art program. So I went
Mm-hmm.
on, I started my career in banking and um, then I went into public relations and some community
Okay.
service management jobs. And many, many, many years later, in about 2014, I decided to take a class in metalsmithing. It was a weekend class in Venice, and it was like it had been at least 30 years, and it was like riding a bike. I had no problem.
Wow. Just came right
So
back.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And then I am not a traditional metalsmith anymore. What
Okay.
ended up happening is I found metal clay when I was looking to buy tools. And so metal clay was perfect because my dad taught me how to use a torch and he also taught me how to use clay. So
Right, right. Wow, it's amazing how things work out like that. So everything happens for a reason. So now, in addition to your jewelry, are there other artistic avenues that you had pursued besides, you mentioned cooking as well? Did you pursue pottery since I know you said your dad was into it? Anything else that you had pursued?
I've dabbled in all kinds of arts,
Okay.
but for a while I was doing traditional and folk painting,
Oh,
folk furniture painting. In my career, I did a lot of graphic art.
okay.
So I was responsible for a lot of graphic design for the bank. I was a marketing manager,
Oh,
ended up as the marketing director before we moved here. So I designed logos and ads and
gotcha.
even got to design our first credit card way back
Oh,
when.
that's cool. That's cool. That's so
Yeah.
unique.
Yep. So I've
Nice.
always played with creativity, and the kids,
Okay.
we always were doing artwork together with my three
Right.
boys, their friends.
Right, right. Now, I'm also aware that, the creative economy is very important to our region. So, as an artist, in addition to having your own business, what do you do to support the creative economy?
Well, the next thing I'm going to be doing when I leave here is going to meet at the Cape Cod Museum of Art because they just made me a trustee. Last night was my first board meeting, and
Wow.
um, museums are suffering right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
Although they've done a really good job, they haven't lost as much as they anticipated. They've lost about half of what they had
Okay.
projected in revenue. Um, but we've got to find a way to adapt the classroom and they have terrible bandwidth there. So virtual like this is difficult. I mean, they have
Gotcha.
worse than that household level, so that needs to be tackled. We need to redesign the classroom space. So I work with the Cape Cod Museum of Art. I work with the Cultural Center. I've been mentoring students, which that's really great for the creative economy in the long
Hmm.
run.
Hmm.
Um, I brought many of my girls over to the shanties.
Right, right.
So
I heard about that. Yeah.
yeah, they get to see what it's like to stand there and be your own business.
Right, right. Now, so in addition to building artistic skills, are there other soft skills that you feel are important, such as self-esteem, self-confidence, and things of that nature?
Absolutely. Confidence, especially in the art world. It took me a long time, and it was a lot of encouragement by an artist named Carl Lopes, who really pushed me over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at the high school. He worked at the high school. That was another career. I was in the high school for 13 years. But Carl was great, and a lot of people, encouragement for an artist, it's crucial.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you have to have good organizational skills. It's very easy to mess up your bookkeeping, not to keep your receipts properly.
True.
You got taxes to pay every quarter.
True.
Yeah, so that's important too.
That's key. Yes, definitely. So I know you mentioned how you had taken some of the artists to the shanties, and I know you've been so welcoming to your interns and you invite them to your studio and other different events. So can you talk about what it means to you to be a mentor?
It means that you're helping. Mentoring is different than going to school. You're helping young folks in a totally different way, in a hands-on way, showing them maybe something that they didn't even plan on doing, but they can be very good at. In my line here, nobody at this point has said, "Oh, I want to be a metal clay artist," because no one really knows about it. Not a whole. And so I've had students who wanted to draw or wanted to do pottery, students who paint.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we do draw a little bit here to plan out our pieces, but this is not a drawing space. So they have to adapt a little bit, and it's fun to see what they turn out with, and keeps me fresh too.
There you go.
I had one student who would come in a couple times a week, and she'd come in and say, you haven't been in your studio, have you? Because everything was the same. So I'd remember that. I'd have to get out here because she would notice.
That's awesome. That's so cool too that you have your own studio, and Kara was telling me it's at your home, right?
Yeah, it was a wood shop on the back of our garage for many years, and I think it took us like 17 years to finally gut it and turn it into a space.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome. So you are so passionate about being a mentor, and you're a fantastic mentor to all of them. Did you have a mentor? No?
Not really. No.
Not really. Yeah.
No, I just moved around a lot in high school and middle school. So, I'd take as many classes as I could, but I've never really had a mentor that I can think of.
Right, right. Now, unfortunately, the life has been kind of stressful lately due to the healthcare pandemic and all the craziness going on. So can you talk a little bit about how you promote self-care for yourself and what practices you follow to kind of unwind?
I think the most important thing is that I still try to go out and exercise at least twice a week, and a good hard exercise like a boot camp. Because if I don't keep myself in shape, I won't stay healthy. And also, again, self-esteem.
Right, right,
You know,
right, right.
especially if you're teaching, standing in front of a group or, in front of a computer in some cases now, but
Yeah.
you want to feel comfortable with yourself and strong and healthy.
Definitely, definitely. Now, what is one piece of advice you would tell a young adult who wishes to pursue any form of art?
Don't limit yourself.
Okay, yeah.
Try to think out of the box, and don't be afraid to show people your work or to try something different.
Okay. So basically explore all artistic mediums. Don't just stick to one. You never know where life's going to take you, so why not explore them all?
Exactly. Yeah, and I oftentimes try to use different materials that aren't traditionally together, like this necklace I have on right now.
Yeah.
It has shrink art. The flowers are shrink art.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. That
So it
is
was
so cool.
just an experiment, but it came out really cute.
That's so cute. Um, Lastly, what is one piece of advice you'd give to a young adult who wishes to pursue their own business?
Start out right from the beginning with a program where you can track your expenses and income.
Okay.
Be very careful with your bookkeeping and build your supplies and tools slowly but carefully,
Okay.
because that really it all depends on your tools. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I
Okay.
think,
Okay.
and having a dedicated space for where you do your work is also very helpful.
True. True. Right.
Maybe it's even a corner, a separate desk in a room or something, but
Right. Right. Like you said, any way to stay organized is going to be the most helpful. So having that space, I feel like would be helpful. Thank you so much, Kim, for meeting with me this afternoon. I know the guidance and advice you've given will be really helpful to all the students, so I appreciate it.
thank you for asking me, and thank you for Artworks in general. It's a
Yeah.
fantastic program, and I'm very lucky to be a part of it.
Great, great. We love to have you, Kim, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.